Hi, everybody. My name's Al Weiss. I'm the Director of Educational Technology and Curricular Innovation here at Pacific University, and I'd like to welcome you to the Blended and Online Learning Retreat. Welcome. So we have put together a whole bunch of resources and some activities for you to engage with over the next couple of weeks. We're really excited about it, and we're really excited to have you join us here. We think you're going to find it really rewarding, and we're really looking forward to working with you for the next couple of weeks here online, and then seeing you together in person when we meet in just 2 weeks. Um, so we have two real fundamental reasons for the online portion of the retreat. The first one is real simple, is what we want you to experience Moodle in particular, but a learning management system or online environment as a student, right? So we recognize depending on your circumstances, it might have been a little bit of time since you were a student using Moodle or a learning management system, Canvas or Blackboard or any of them. Um, and sometimes you can forget a little bit about what that experience is like. Or you may not have ever had an experience of being a student in one of these systems, right? An old person like me, I went through a lot of my schooling before these systems existed. So this gives you a chance to really dive in, to remember what it's like to be a student in here, and to work through things with some deadlines and other kinds of things, right? And this can be really, really super generative as you start designing your own courses, or you start thinking more intentionally about how you're designing online, right? Just it allows you to think about like, okay, these are the things I really liked about working online, or these are the things I really didn't like, right? And you can start remembering those and think about how you can work with those, right? Really sort of develop those things that you like, and maybe try to work around those things that you didn't like, or things that might have gotten in the way of your learning. The second reason we're having you here is more practical for the running of the retreat, right? We wanted to provide you with some time and some space to brainstorm a little bit, to think about some stuff, and to explore some different kinds of ideas about online and blended learning and technology enhanced learning. Right. So we've set this up so that there's readings and resources and forums to brainstorm in. So you can do some of this work, and it'll really set you up to be successful when we start creating things and working with tools and all that kind of stuff in the face-to-face section. So we set this up in 3 modules. Um, Two of them are actually pretty brief. One of them is pretty meaty. But the first module is very simple. It's just an introduction module. We have a couple of forums in there that we're going to ask you to introduce yourselves in. So we'll have one forum that just a self-introduction. You go in there. It should take you 5-10 minutes to fill that out. We have a little icebreaker activity in there as well. The second activity is that, and this is actually really super important, but it won't take you too much time, is that we want you to choose a course to work with as we go through the retreat. So we want you to be thinking about it here in the online portion, but we'll really want you to be thinking about it as we get into the face-to-face section. We start creating stuff. So we want you to really have like an actual course that you're working on, so that we can really be working on something that's authentic, that's real, and that you can help. It'll help frame that design that you're putting into it, or that redesign that you're putting into it. So the second module is a bit more meaty. This is really sort of the heart of the online portion of the Blended Online Learning Retreat. So we've put together a whole bunch of different kinds of resources in here. We have some articles on sort of general tips that you want to think about as you're designing in an online environment or incorporating technology into your courses. We have a series of case studies from Pacific, 4 different case studies from Pacific faculty who've done some really neat things with their classes by integrating technology or using technology enhanced teaching methods. And then we have a couple of web pages that we put together, have compiled from surveys that we did during the Pivot Online back in 2021, where we harvested from all of our faculty specific things and methods that they use to really make these online environments active, to make them pop, to make them engaging. So we have a whole bunch of different resources that will help you sort of think about ways in which you might be applying technology in your courses to help you affect better learning from your students, right? And to help you get better engagement uh, and help your students be successful, right? Because that's really the point of putting our technology in the courses. So we think you'll find that a really interesting module. However, we do realize that we put a lot of stuff in there. All those readings, with one exception, all those readings are really pretty short, but there are a bunch of them. So we recognize that there's graduation coming up. This is grading to do. This is a super busy time of year. So we've given a suggestion for 3 of those readings. If you're really strapped for time to do it, it should take you about maybe a half hour to do those 3 readings all together. But if we also welcome you to read all of them, or if there's a specific reading that's not in our prioritized readings that you want to look at and you don't want to look at our prioritized readings, that is totally fine too. So pick and choose as you see fit. Don't feel like there's no expectation that you read everything in there, although you are certainly welcome to do so. Choose as you see fit. Glance at some things, dive into those things that you really want to look at, and gloss over those things that you feel um, maybe not as worthwhile to you. So module 3 is very short. Again, like module 1, there's just a brainstorming forum that you'll have to participate in, but it's very important as well. So the face-to-face sessions are all structured around a series of challenges, and we have one global overarching challenge that we ask you to do, and that is we want you to design a portion of a Moodle site for that course that you chose. And it will have all sorts of things in it. It'll have videos in it, other kinds of materials in it. We'll give you a whole list of specifications. So we're going to provide you with that challenge in module 3, and then we're just going to ask you to do some brainstorming about it, right? So how might you accomplish this, or what types of things do you want to put into that, right? And maybe what kinds of strategies that you've read about before, we're thinking about what kinds of things you want to incorporate into that, right? Again, just a real sort of brainstorming thing so that you're set up and prepared when you come to the face-to-face retreat with a lot of ideas about how you want to integrate technology into your teaching. So as we talk about some of these tools, as we start designing in them and creating things in them, you have a real idea, or at least the beginnings of some ideas about how you want to implement them so that you can really try to make that those ideas, really try to manifest those ideas through what we create during the retreat. And it will really help uh, you to make this experience really valuable the more you do some of this pre-work and this brainstorming during this online session. So that's what we're doing. We think this will be actually really exciting and really interesting for you. It should not be high stress. We are not being graded, although act like students, we're not going to grade you. We really just want you to be thinking about these ideas, engaging as much as you can in the forums, and really doing a lot of thinking as you go through here. So we are very, very excited to have you here. Thank you for joining us so much, and we look forward to seeing you in the forums. Bye-bye for now.